10-minute daily reality check. David Wygant here with Eddie Palmer. Saturday, August the 5th. Man, we are cruising through August. I'm warning you right now, it's almost back to school. Hey, Eddie, you know, it's funny. I think back to school is the biggest marketing hype in the entire world, right? Because hear the theory out,
okay.
Right? Okay, hear this theory out, right? So think about this, right? Kids get out of school middle of June, okay? Hot as an inferno, right? Middle of June. They go back to school middle of August, which is ridiculous because when I went to school, I got out June 22nd and went back the 2 days after Labor Day, right? I think kids should have a full, complete summer because to tell you the truth, school is the biggest fucking waste of time in the entire world. Homework, bullshit. I didn't do it. I had ADHD. I didn't pay attention anywhere. I'm a super creative person, and I was thrown into the system of school, and I think school is just insanely annoying unless you are actually that child that actually can benefit from school, which a lot of them do, but I was a terrible student. Anyway, this back to school stuff, it's like, if you think about it, these kids, they went and they got their school at the end of June, the middle of August, you know, they needed to buy back to school clothes. Well, let me tell you, a lot of these schools don't have enough air conditioning. So what are you going to buy them? A fucking bathing suit so they can sit there and sweat laying down there? We used to go to this place called Big Top. Big Top was on Weaver Street. We used to go to, the same day that school started, we went to Big Top to go buy our fucking new lunchbox, our new loose leaf. And that was my back to school shopping. I didn't get clothes. I wore the same clothes I was wearing all summer because it was hot as shit. Now, don't get me wrong, I did persuade my parents to get me some cool shit like middle of October when the weather started changing, but this back to school thing is all about what we're doing in society today. It's all about spoiling the hell out of everybody, so there's this me thing.
I need things I don't need.
I know.
You need back to school clothes when you just, like you said, think about it. You go back to school in August and you just left in June. What changed in a month and a half? Not much. And even with kids who grow constantly. Like, I just bought my niece when she came in to visit me here in LA. I bought her and my nephew a pair of tennis shoes for them to go back to school in. And then I was talking to her the other day after me and Dave finished working out on FaceTime. And he can even test her. What you doing? Oh, I just got back from shopping. More clothes. Me. But we install this early in life. And with social media, we make it even easier to become a me person. And so now with America, home of the me. Not the brave, the me.
Well, that's what it is. It's America, home of the me. And last week I did a great podcast. Go to last Saturday's podcast, and I talked about dating Satan. There was an author called Bill Eddy who was on it. Bill Eddy's a lawyer and everything else, and he wrote a book about narcissism. So I was curious about it because I had him on the show. And if I have you on the show, I'm actually going to sit and read your book one night. I'm not going to read every single word. But there's an interesting thing that's going on. There's a phenomenon going on. America, the me, is being run by the biggest narcissist that's ever hit the world and the planet. His wife has admitted they sleep in separate bedrooms because there's no bed big enough to sleep next to a narcissist. A narcissist doesn't even need a California king bed. They need a California triple king bed because they got to be able to fit all their stories and lies into the bed with them at night when they go to bed. So there was a portion of the book that wrote feelings create facts. In general, emotionally healthy people base their feelings on facts, right? If your dad came home drunk every night, fact, you might feel worried or concerned, feeling. If your boss complimented you on a big project, fact, you would feel proud and happy. People with narcissists and all these other great things, however, do the opposite. When their feelings don't fit the facts, they may unconsciously revise the facts to fit their feelings. This may be the one reason why their perspective of events is so different than yours, right? The person with borderline traits unconsciously revises the facts so that their feelings make sense. They may consciously make up events to achieve a specific goal. Deceitfulness is one of the strongest traits of people with antisocial personalities, as he described in Chapter 2. While their underlying distortions may be unconscious, people with antisocial personalities knowingly lie much of the time. And here we are in an era.
Tell me that doesn't sound like the president.
Exactly, right? Right?
Whether you're voting for him or not, you can't say that's not him. Not honestly, you can't say that's not him. But continue.
I mean, so we live in an era right now, okay, where everybody's allowed to post all these things on Facebook. And if you read people's posts on Facebook, you can see the narcissistic tendencies from people that are creating a story based on this feeling that they had, right? How wounded they were, and this and that. Fucking narcissists are complete victims at all times.
All times.
All the time.
Always hurt. I'm always been stabbed. I'm always been shot at. I'm always bleeding out emotionally because of some hurt someone gave me.
Years ago. 10 years ago, they're like the pastors in life, but not the pastors that are, the ones that actually give a good Sunday sermon at church. They're the pastors. They live in the past. And it is so scary. But we're living in a time right now where everybody needs to look in the mirror. Not the me, me, me mirror. I always say the narcissist all the time is they look in the mirror and they go, me, 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 me. And they do. They'll stare at themselves. They will sit there and stare at every single mirror. They're the king of the selfies. This was all on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
They will post pictures of themselves over and over and over again. And you have to think about it. Our president, every single day, Eddie, this is your soapbox, man. Every fucking day you come and you say, can you believe
what this guy said today? And it's always the victim or I'm being vilified. It's a witch hunt. They hate me. They're obstructors. Everybody's in my way. The only person in his way is himself. When you have, and this is just a quick synopsis of government control and government and how it's run. When you have the Congress and the presidency, and you just appointed a Supreme Court judge to keep the balance of conservative versus liberal power tipped towards conservative, and you still can't get your agenda through, it's time to start looking in the mirror. Not the me mirror, but the mirror that shows your actual orange reflection. And that's what he doesn't want to do. And a lot of us don't either, if you think about it. It's always somebody else's fault why things go wrong. If you can't say, I had a bad day, and it's because of me, or I had a bad day, or me and so-and-so got into a tiff. Maybe it was my fault. If you can't look at yourself first, then there's a problem. Here's a quick thing I know. I train a lot of successful people like Dave and some others. Everybody in a different field, music, fashion, you name it, business, whatever, you name it. The top tier people, the 1%ers, all this stuff. The first person they look at when things don't go wrong, I'm talking billionaires and all, and not like our President Trump. The first person they look at when things don't go wrong, when they do go wrong, is themselves. Everybody I know who's accountable and successful, they look at themselves, including myself. Anytime something goes wrong, well, what did I do? And as soon as I can establish whether I was at fault at all or not for that, or if I am partially, then I own that and see where I need to make an improvement. Now, if you can say to yourself, maybe you get in an argument with somebody and you go, they're clearly having a bad day about something else. It has nothing to do with me. You can clearly walk away with a clear conscience. But if you know you aggravated somebody who was having a bad day and then they flipped out on you, you know you played a role in that. You have to look at yourself before you look at anyone else. Because most of the problems in this world and in this country especially are coming from within, not from without. We do have some outside interference, but just like in your life, your problems are coming from within. They're probably starting with you. Not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your coworker, not your neighbor who you get into it with, not the mechanic, not whoever. It's you. Start there. Say, what can I do better? Maybe my aura is keeping these things going.
It's fascinating because a lot of people, the true narcissists, cannot look within. They don't go to therapy. They don't believe in therapy.
They know why. And you ever see something, and a lot of you, I guarantee you, when we're talking about this now and you're listening, you're going, oh, I know somebody like that. And then you laugh to yourself. You go, they never want the help. They're always, oh, well, this is, and then they completely don't hear anything you say. Well, this is, well, she, I text a girl and she didn't call me back. And you know how those girls are. I guess because I didn't take, I should have took her to Nobu. She probably would have texted me back. Oh, because you didn't spend enough money on her, she didn't text you back. Maybe you didn't listen enough during the date. And that's why she didn't text you back. Or, I can't believe that guy didn't return my call. We had such a great night. I opened up to him, literally and figuratively. Well, and maybe it's your fault he didn't call you back. Maybe he got everything he needed at one night. He didn't have to call back.
It's so funny. People don't want to take responsibility in our government. It's literally like the United States versus Russia to see who's more narcissistic right now.
Yeah, and we have two authoritarians in place.
Yep.
Trump wants to be what the president of Turkey and Russia, he wants to be like them. He wants to be an authoritarian. If you ever watch what he calls them board meetings now, staff meetings, everybody go around the room and say something. Oh, say something you like about me. I'm sorry, what? Remember, in America, it's about everyone in America, not just you. Just like something our president needs to remind ourselves, and maybe even we need to remind ourselves of sometimes. It's not, America's about everyone, not just you. If you make sure the person next to you is okay, I'm pretty sure the person next to you is going to do what? Make sure you're okay too. That's how that works.
What's fascinating about this whole thing is that when you look at these personalities and you see them, and we start recognizing them more and more and more, because there's more and more exposure for them nowadays, because they can post all over social media, they can grab their 5 minutes of fame. Everybody's got an opportunity to do that.
And everybody's striving harder and harder to get that attention because the bar is constantly raised.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
more outrageous stuff for attention. So show more of your body. Give me your whole birth canal. Bend all the way over and show. Like, you can think about fitness videos now. Are they really fitness, or is it just
Porn.
girls in porn? Girls
porn.
in short shorts showing their birth canal with ponytails. Watch me tie my ponytail, and then watch me tie my shoe, and then all of a sudden they're bent over. And we're entertained because what? You're seeing everything but fitness. You know what fitness is to me? That 300-pound person on that treadmill, and they're dying, and they keep putting one foot in front of the other. I saw a guy yesterday at the gym working out. He's at least 100 pounds overweight. He had a barbell on his back doing step-ups on a box. And you know what? I went back on the treadmill and did another mile, and I saw it. He inspired me. I said, you know what? Because that's what fitness is. It's being better than you were yesterday. Putting yourself in a position to be better than you were yesterday. That's how America got here. We banded together and said everybody should be able to live freely in one place. Now we all want to live the same life in the same place. We all want to look the same, like Kardashians. Look at the surgeries we all getting. All these models. Start paying attention to these people you see on Instagram and social media. You ever notice they kind of have the same face no matter what race they are? How is that so much? Think about it.
I know.
We all want to look alike.
We
all want to dress alike. Oh, we all need the Kanye West. But Kanye's crazy. We're not holding him accountable for the things he does because we run to the store and buy his tennis shoes for $200 and $300. So how are you holding him accountable for his actions when he stands you up on that stage? You just spent $120 for his ticket, but you run out and buy his shoes too. You got to hold people accountable for their actions, including yourself.
I think the issue here, and I think the big takeaway today is look at yourself. I mean, honestly, look at yourself. If this podcast resonated with you, or you got angry, or you got pissed off, then you know what? We're right. You got narcissism in your blood.
If you got mad, they're
Right.
talking about you, and that's just the way you need to look at it.
Yeah, and if you hate, like, oh my God, who, you know, a true narcissist will go, well, who the fuck is Eddie and David, and how can they possibly say that? They don't know me. No, we actually do, because as you get older, you see all these borderline personalities running around.
And when you help as many people as we do around the world, you start to pick up on things. You're like, I saw that in the last person 2 years ago with this person, or 2 months ago with that person, and that person and that person. I see it in you. Now I can kind of put together what's the next piece. And then when you start to predict in your mind what's going to happen next, and it does, you get pretty good at seeing personalities, habits, and tendencies. And also one thing is because me and Dave look at ourselves in the mirror and go, how can we be better every day? And a real man is able to open up and share himself and not shut that out because he wants to look cool or tough. A real man is vulnerable. And that's the first step in being non-narcissistic, is being vulnerable. Allowing yourself to be yourself and understand, I'm not perfect. I'm going to make some mistakes. I'm going to piss some people off. I'm going to get pissed off. But it's not always someone else's fault when everything falls down around me. And if things are constantly falling down around you, why wouldn't you look at yourself?
Well, because you're building a house based on sand.
A house of cards or a house of lies.
It's a house of lies, and you might as well look at your own lies. So today I challenge you to look at the lies you're telling yourself and the lies you're telling other people. And I challenge you to get out of the world of narcissism. Let me tell you something. Therapy doesn't work on narcissists because they are basically literally distorting all their facts. Okay? They are literally taking something and adopting facts to fit their feelings. So that's what a true narcissist is. They believe the strength of their emotions proves the truth to the facts. The fact can be minor exaggerations, major distortions of fact to prove the opposite point, or even non-existent events. If this is your life, I strongly suggest you get a complete slap in the face, because I'm going to leave you with one thing. Stop Donald Trumping yourself.
Stop trumping stop trumping your way to success.
Exactly. EddiePalmer12@gmail.com for the best training in the world.
Let's talk fitness. Let's talk health. Let's make life better.
All right. We'll have Eddie back on tomorrow. 10-minute daily reality check out. Do me a favor. Spread the podcast around. If you know of a narcissist, deliver this to their inbox today and say,
just let them listen
to it. Because otherwise, they're going to continue to Donald Trump themselves.